Kyler Murray just signed a veteran minimum contract. Let me be direct with you. The man Arizona absorbed $47.5 million in dead cap just to release is now competing for a roster spot at the league minimum in Minnesota. That is not a comeback story. That is a controlled demolition. Before we go any further, lock in two things. The actual number inside Kyler Murray's Minnesota deal is going to stop you cold, and we are getting there. And the real reason Arizona swallowed one of the largest dead cap hits in modern NFL history tells you something about how broken this situation truly became that no report has fully confronted. Hold both of those. Every single word between now and the end of this is building to them. Start with who Kyler Murray was supposed to be. Number 1 overall pick, 2019, AP Offensive Rookie of the Year, 2 Pro Bowl selections, a $230.5 million contract extension signed in 2022 that was supposed to lock him in as the cornerstone of the Arizona Cardinals for the next decade. The organization did not just believe in Kyler Murray. They restructured their entire future around him. At his peak, he was the most difficult quarterback to contain in the NFL. His legs erased pass rushes. His improvisational ability destroyed game plans. Defensive coordinators built entire weekly schemes around eliminating what he did naturally. The 2022 extension was a bet on that ceiling, and at the time, it was not unreasonable. Then, he tore his ACL in December 2022. And the entire plan collapsed. Here is where most people misread the story. The popular assumption is that the injury broke him permanently. They point to the ACL tear and declare it the single moment everything went wrong. But the data does not hold that up. Kyler returned in late 2023 and played 8 games, followed by a 2024 season that flashed the old brilliance. But by 2025, the wheels didn't just come off. The engine seized. A foot injury limited him to just 5 games while he was on the field. The offense was a ghost. Arizona finished the 2025 season with a record-breaking string of narrow losses, but the institutional trust was already gone. You do not pay a quarterback $46 million per year to watch your franchise spiral into a toxic rebuild. The independent study clause drama from years prior was just the first crack in a foundation that finally shattered. Then came the spring of 2026. This is where the narrative gets deliberately muddied. Kyler had stretches where the old mobility returned. There were games where the arm looked sharp, where the improvisation flashed, where you could see the ghost of what he once was threatening to come back. His supporters pointed to those moments and called it a bounce back. They were not entirely wrong about what they saw. They were just wrong about what it meant inside that building, because here's the truth. Teams that genuinely believe in their franchise quarterback do not dismantle around him. They do not quietly restructure their roster and bring in Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew to lead a rebuild. Arizona was done with the Kyler Murray experiments. The film did not change the decision. The injury did not finalize it. The contract made escape a financial emergency, and the front office moved accordingly, and so they paid to escape. $47.5 million in dead cap for 2026 alone, part of a total $54.7 million hit. That is real money paid to a player who will never again wear the Cardinals uniform for the right to stop paying him. To absorb a charge that size willingly, the dysfunction inside an organization has to cross a very specific threshold. It has to become structurally unsalvageable, not uncomfortable, not inconvenient, unsalvageable. Arizona did not release Kyler Murray because they found an upgrade waiting in the draft. They released him because the organizational cost of staying together was mathematically and culturally higher than the cost of paying him to disappear. That is not a business decision. That is a verdict. It is definitive. And for a player who once ran this league, it is devastating. So Kyler Murray arrived in Minnesota, and here's the number I told you to hold. His deal with the Minnesota Vikings is worth approximately $1.3 million 1 year. $1.3 million. His Arizona extension carried an average annual value above $46 million. That is a pay reduction exceeding 97%. A player once compensated as one of the highest paid quarterbacks in NFL history is now earning the league-mandated floor for veterans. The only reason he can afford to take this deal, Arizona is still on the hook for $35.5 million of his guaranteed salary this year. The financial distance between that $230.5 million extension and this contract is not just jarring. It is one of the most staggering economic reversals in the history of professional football. But here is the football counter-argument, and it deserves to be taken seriously. Kevin O'Connell is one of the most effective quarterback developers in the modern game. He turned Sam Darnold into a winner in 2024. The scheme is clean. The system is quarterback-friendly by design. The concepts are built to create rhythm completions that rebuild a quarterback's confidence from the ground up. O'Connell does not just call plays. He rebuilds the mechanics of how a quarterback processes the game. If any remaining version of Kyler Murray still functions beneath 3 years of wreckage, O'Connell is the coach most structurally capable of excavating it, and Kyler Murray is 28 years old. This gets buried completely in every conversation about him. People talk about him like the window closed and the building was demolished, but 28 is not old for an NFL quarterback. Josh Allen was considered a fundamentally flawed, inaccurate thrower until he was 24. He is now regarded by many as the best quarterback in professional football. Development is never a clean, linear, predictable arc. Writing a player off at 28 based on two compromised, structurally unstable seasons ignores the historical pattern of how elite quarterbacks actually evolve and recover. The athletic tools have not evaporated. The arm is still there. What is genuinely unclear is whether the mental architecture of a player who has been through the Arizona meat grinder is intact enough to execute under pressure, but none of that changes the structure of his current reality inside that building. The Vikings drafted J.J. McCarthy with the 10th overall pick in 2024. He missed his entire rookie season to a torn meniscus. He is now entering the 2026 training camp after a shaky 2025 season where he went 6-4 as a starter before injuries sidelined him again. Think carefully about what that room looks like every single day. Kyler Murray walks in and competes for relevance behind a 23-year-old franchise cornerstone who is still the priority. Every clean completion McCarthy delivers is a quiet institutional confirmation of exactly where Kyler Murray now stands. Currently ranked near the bottom of the league's projected starters, he may close out the entire 2026 season as a backup. If McCarthy locks the job down in August, the Arizona Cardinals paid nearly $50 million to close the chapter permanently. The Minnesota Vikings cracked the door open just enough for him to stand in the frame, but it is a narrow door. The hinges belong to someone else, and it does not open on Kyler Murray's timeline, his terms, or his schedule. The most expensive reclamation project in NFL history is now operating on a budget that barely clears the league minimum. So here's the question this comment section needs to settle right now. Is Kyler Murray a permanently broken franchise quarterback whose career ceiling was sealed the moment Arizona cut that $47.5 million dead cap check? Or does Kevin O'Connell's system in Minnesota engineer the most shocking NFL QB rankings comeback of the decade and silence every analyst who already carved his name into the tombstone?